Hello everybody and welcome back to another EFL Championship predictions video. We're now up to game week 43. All of these fixtures taking place on Good Friday, which is Friday the 18th of April. And things are, well, really hotting up at the top of the table. It looks like it's a two-horse race now between Leeds and Burnley. We're both on 88 points as Sheffield United losing 3 on the bounce, and the pressure is really getting to Chris Wilder. Clashing with opposition players at the end of that defeat away against Plymouth Argyle. Scuffles in the tunnel, and then a team talk on the pitch. Things are really getting to the Blades' boss. At the other end of the table, Plymouth, Luton, Cardiff, Derby, Hull and Portsmouth are all fighting for their lives. Stoke's win at Cardiff probably sees them safe, but there are still 4 matches to go. And this Friday, it all kicks off at Pride Park, 12:30 kick-off. Derby County take on Luton. This is 21st against 23rd, a huge game at the bottom of the table. I can see a scenario where Derby could win this one, Luton can win this one, but I am going to sit on the fence. I don't think Derby will lose. I think it's going to end up in a draw, which will probably favour Derby just slightly, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline. Next up, 3 o'clock kick-off, Blackburn Rovers against Millwall. Blackburn getting their first win in what seems like forever against Luton Town. Very surprising for me that victory was. And Millwall 3 wins on the bounce now. An excellent 1-0 against Middlesbrough. And they're up to the heady heights of 9th position, currently on 60 points. 4 wins out of their last 5 matches. And they've got a real chance of the playoffs. They're chasing down Coventry City, who occupy 6th position. In this one, I think it's going to be tight. Blackburn have got very slim chance of reaching the playoffs themselves, but I think Millwall will come through this one in a very, very narrow 1-0 away win. Next up, we go to Ashton Gate, where the Wurzels, Bristol City, take on Sunderland. Bristol City gained just a point away against QPR, who haven't been in the best of form themselves. And Sunderland, a little bit surprising to lose 1-0 at home against Swansea on the weekend. This one, I think it's going to be another tight clash. Could see some goals. There's only going to be 1 goal in it. It'll be 2-1 or 1-0. I'm going to go for a 2-1 home win, and we'll see if Bristol City leave it late in this match. Then we move to the Ricoh Arena, where 6th position Coventry being held 1-1 on Monday evening against Hull. They need to win this match, really, I feel. But West Brom, they're currently in 7th position. So this is a massive clash for both of these teams' hopes of remaining or trying to get back into the playoff zone. And it could go either way. There'll be a big crowd there on Easter Friday, I should imagine. Can Coventry take advantage, or will the pressure get to them a little bit? It's a difficult one, but I do fancy Coventry at home. I just can see them sneaking this one 2-1. But it's going to be nervy there for the Sky Blues. Next up, we go to the Riverside Stadium up in Middlesbrough, where Middlesbrough take on Plymouth. Plymouth with that excellent victory against Sheffield United. And Middlesbrough back-to-back defeats and a loss against Millwall in that last match. Middlesbrough currently occupy 8th position, same number of points as Millwall and West Brom. They need to pick up all 3 points here, but at the other end of the table, Plymouth still have hopes of getting out of this, and they are really fighting for their lives, and they are showing plenty of spirit, but their away form this season has been dire. They could earn a draw here against Borough, but I do fancy Borough just to sneak this one in a 1-0 home win. We then move to Carrow Road, where Norwich Canaries take on
Portsmouth.
Neither of these sides winning on the weekend, and neither of these sides gained victory in their last 3 matches. Norwich lost narrowly to Burnley last time out, and Portsmouth getting a Desmond, 2-2 draw against Derby. Norwich, it looks pretty much like their season is over. 10 points away from 6th position. It's been a real disappointing season for Norwich City. And Portsmouth, it looks like they just need a point really to stay up. I should imagine maybe 3. Can they get it here? I don't think they will. The best I think they can get is a draw. But I'm going to favour Norwich in a very, very narrow 1-0 win to break Portsmouth hearts. But I think they'll stay up ultimately in the end, Portsmouth. We then move to Deepdale where Preston North End take on QPR. QPR without a defeat now in their last 3 matches. And Preston, it was a 2-1 reverse against Leeds. It seems like Preston, their fixtures been piling up and they can't wait for the season to end. And I think this is going to end up in stalemate. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Next up, we move to the Bet365 where Stoke City on the weekend came away with a narrow 1-0 win against Cardiff City in what was really a poor game. Sheffield Wednesday now without a win in their last 5 with a 1-0 reverse against Oxford. Stoke, I'm not impressed with Stoke, but I wasn't impressed with Sheffield Wednesday when I watched them live either. So I think this is going to end up in a draw. And I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline. And for Stoke, that'll probably see them over the line for survival this season. Then we move down south to the Swansea.com stadium. Hull City are the visitors and they get into a very, very important draw against Coventry City. And Swansea, like a train at the moment, an excellent 1-0 win against Sunderland. Looks like Luka Modric's taking all the headlines. Got a very, very small stake now in ownership of Swansea City. Can see a bit of a crowd there, surprisingly, at the Swansea.com stadium. Hull currently occupy 20th position. They really need about 3 more points just to survive this season. I don't feel they'll get it here at Swansea. Swansea full of confidence, and I can see them winning 2-0 in this fixture. We then move to Vicarage Road where the Hornets Watford take on Burnley. Only 1 winner in this. Watford losing last time against West Brom, and Burnley a narrow win against Norwich, and I can see them winning this one 1-0. We then move to Bramwell Lane where Sheffield United, as we've said, 3 defeats on the bounce. Cardiff struggling to get points on the board now. It should be fighting for their lives. They're finding it really difficult in front of goal and always leaking at least 1 goal in these matches. Like that 1-0 defeat against Stoke, they missed a glaring opportunity. Isaac Davids 2 yards from goal, should have buried his chance. Before that it was a 2-2 draw against Preston. Before that a 0-0 draw against QPR. So while they're not getting turned over massively, they are finding it very, very difficult. In this one, I think the Blades will return to winning ways. And I'm going to go for a 1-0 home win to Sheffield United. Probably won't do enough for their automatic promotion hopes for Sheffield United, because I think Burnley and Leeds, possibly will come to them in a moment, will both gain 3 points this weekend. For Cardiff though, the wrong end of the table, they're in dire need of some points, but I can't see them getting anything here. Perhaps a draw, but I think ultimately it'll be a 1-0 win to Sheffield United this weekend. We then move to the Cassim Stadium for the final fixture of Friday. This takes place at 8 p.m. in the evening. Incidentally, that match between Sheffield United and Cardiff City live on Sky in the UK at 5:30. But this clash 8 p.m. at the Cassim Stadium, Oxford against Leeds. Okay, the sequence of events for Oxford have been loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. And I think that pattern will continue here. I think they'll give Leeds a really good game, because ultimately, like Burnley, they'll want to finish the season as champions. I think they'll win this match 2-1. So those are my predictions for game week 43. It's all hotting up at the top and the bottom of the table. Make sure you leave your predictions over at the Superbru website, or in the comment section below. I'm going to be back probably with another video on Sunday because there are matches on Monday, which will be game week 44. Enjoy all the action on Easter Friday, and I'll see you all in the next video.